Picture this, man. Apple, Google, and Amazon in the Hunger Games. Who would survive? And so we got three brands right here. Apple, Google, and Amazon. And suppose you put them in the Hunger Games. Who do you think would come out alive? Like, I don't know if you know the plot of the Hunger Games, but what it is it's a dystopian science fiction movie. All right. Now, I didn't actually see it when it launched back in 2012, and there have been sequels since like 2013, and I think they had one in 2023. So, showing the popularity of this movie series. But what it is they basically take a bunch of teenagers from this city, you know, that's kind of dystopian and it's ruled by like an evil dictator. And so what he does is he pits these teenagers from 12 different districts against each other in a fight to the death. And in order to survive, you pretty much gotta kill everybody else. And then you have a chance of making it out alive, which is a very weird, very brutal kind of scenario to even think about. And you know, I didn't watch the Hunger Games when it came out, but you know, I'm all about brands. I'm all about, you know, looking at different brands. So I think it would be a more interesting thing to actually put it in a business perspective, because whether you like it or not, you know, the survival of your brand, your business, at times it's gonna come at the expense of somebody else. I'm not saying you should try to do business at the expense of somebody else. Like, that's one of the things I don't like. But it's true that Amazon has taken a lot of business from little mom and pops, small businesses, like little retailers that used to operate in a bunch of local spaces. It's true that Google has taken business away from the yellow pages, for example, yellow page advertising. It's also true that Apple, with their iPhone, have displaced Nokia, those feature phones that used to be all the rage back in the day. That's largely gone now thanks to the iPhone and all these other new smartphone brands, and thanks in large part to Apple. So these three brands, these three giant brands, are obviously winners in the business Hunger Games, if you look at it from that Hunger Games perspective. But you know, what if it was the ultimate championship? Like, now let's bring the champions and they have to eat each other and fight it out amongst themselves, and we're gonna blend the whole thing together in the Hunger Games and see who comes out the winner, who comes out alive. So this is so interesting, man. But I think the first one to die, the first one to go down, would probably be Google in my view. Although Google has a lot of crazy tricks, right? They got Google, the search engine. They've got a lot of cool brands. They got Gmail. They've got Google AdSense. They have YouTube. They have a whole bunch of products that, you know, that they have done. But if you were to look at kind of like who is able to play more to like consumer tests, I think you find that Apple is a little bit more fashionable. People literally queue in line to buy an iPhone. People literally go mad if they cannot access their latest iPhone. This is a brand that somehow has a very strong brand affinity. So I think Apple would be able probably to nudge ahead of Google, and Amazon might be able to put the trick as well, because Amazon, everybody loves the convenience of ordering stuff on Amazon. Like, all these people that order from there, they all talk about the convenience. And nowadays, I know that Amazon has been building a lot of capabilities around like near instant delivery. It's not instant, like, okay, it gets here right now, but it's kind of like same day delivery in a lot of locations that they're active in. Apparently, you can now get things like pretty much same day, which I think is good. Like, so call me biased if you will, but I think Google would go down first, alright? I think in these brand Hunger Games, Google would have a tough time competing with Apple and with Amazon. Okay, so that settles that. And then in the ultimate slam down, now you've got Apple versus Amazon. Man, this is hard. This is really hard. How do I even know who would win that? Because Amazon has a lot of tricks, right? It's no longer just Amazon. They got Amazon e-commerce, but they also have AWS, which is Amazon Web Services. If you're building anything online, like a software, like a giant thing, you need servers, you need cloud computing. Where are you gonna do that? One of the most convenient, most powerful platforms to build on top of, to actually get those servers, databases, all the technology you need would be AWS, Amazon Web Services. I used to use it myself for some of my projects when I was building software much more actively, and I can attest it's a very extensive platform. I didn't even use a big fraction of what they offer there. Like, they've got solutions for almost anything you want to build in terms of like software and things like that. Apple doesn't really offer that, right? Now, besides that, Amazon also has a whole bunch of other brands like Zappos, Whole Foods. They've gone and acquired a ton of other brands, like other consumer brands, which I really like. I think it's a cool move. Now you look at Apple, they don't have just the iPhone, they got the Macintosh, they got iPad, iPod, they've got Apple Music, which is really powerful. I mean, where would we be without Apple Music giving us access to a whole bunch of new music releases? Like, that music platform, I think, is a very powerful feature, powerful draw on the consumer side. And Apple is now much more like a fashion brand with, like, you know, smartwatches, you know, all kinds of wearable stuff that borders between technology and fashion, which I think is gonna be a neat trick, right? In the Hunger Games, you don't want to be the slow dummy that's way out doing just technology, boring technology. And actually, I think that's where Apple is gonna get the slight edge on Amazon, and, you know, give Amazon the kick in the back and actually get ahead, because Amazon is a very powerful brand and a powerful platform, but I think they are a little bit more focused on hardcore technology and not so much on the kind of like the sexy, appealing marketing, which Apple has really been able to do and dominate. And I think this is why Apple is gonna be the brand to watch. And in these business brand Hunger Games, Apple wins, guys. Apple is gonna come out on top, just because they've got a brand where in the final moment they're gonna be able to dispatch of Amazon with a crossbow shot from the back. But it's gonna be a shot from the back, because head to head, you know, it's really hard to to get a winner there. But they got a cheap shot from the back, and they caught Amazon napping, and they won. So that's it for this business brands Hunger Games. And if you need some resources to help you grow your own product-based side hustle, you can grab some of my free downloads. The links will be in the description.